You can feel it, can't you? That quiet, unsettling doubt that creeps in when you look at her. The way she carries herself, the way she speaks, the way she looks at you. There's something in her energy that feels experienced. Not in a judgmental way, but in a way that makes you wonder, how many hearts has she already held? How many men has she already been with? Before we go further, take a second to hit that subscribe button and like this video. Not because I'm asking you to, but because you're tired of being blind to the things no one ever tells men. What I'm about to share isn't gossip. It's psychology. Raw, real, and uncomfortable truth. See, most men get this wrong. They look for clues in her past when the truth is living right in her present. A woman who's been with many men doesn't need to tell you. Her behaviors reveal everything. It's not about shaming her. It's about understanding the patterns of energy that shape her ability to bond, to connect, to stay loyal. Every experience leaves a psychological imprint. Just like a key leaves marks on a lock that's been opened too many times, emotional intimacy leaves traces on the soul. Some women lose the ability to attach deeply. Others wear their detachment like a perfume, invisible but noticeable to anyone who's paying attention. You can sense it when her affection feels rehearsed, when her empathy is mechanical, or when her charm feels more like strategy than sincerity. She knows how to make a man feel chosen because she's played this game before. But deep down, that connection often isn't about you. It's about keeping her sense of control. Don't misunderstand me. This isn't about purity or body count. It's about emotional frequency. A woman who's been with many men often carries a fragmented identity. She's adapted to multiple versions of herself to match whoever stood before her. And now when you meet her, you're not meeting one woman. You're meeting layers of experiences she's collected, like echoes of the men who came before you. And if you don't understand these signs, you'll mistake emotional distance for confidence, emotional fatigue for independence, and her self-protective detachment for mystery. But there are clear signals, subtle psychological tells that reveal exactly what kind of past she carries. Let's open that vault. The first sign, and it's one that most men completely overlook, is her relationship with intimacy. I don't mean physical closeness. I mean emotional safety. A woman who's been with a lot of men often treats intimacy like currency, something to be managed, not shared. It's not warmth you feel from her. It's performance. She knows exactly what to say, how to touch, how to make you feel like the only man in the room. But underneath it all, there's a strange emptiness. You'll notice it in the way she avoids true vulnerability. She'll talk about her exes casually, joke about heartbreak, maybe even call herself emotionally unavailable, as if it's something fashionable. That's not confidence. That's emotional fatigue. She's been through too many connections that started fast, burned bright, and ended cold. And now she protects herself by never fully entering the fire again. Her words might sound open, but her energy is closed. When you touch her, she might respond instantly, but when you look into her eyes afterward, there's distance. That distance isn't shyness, it's the residue of past attachment wounds. It's what psychologists call emotional displacement, the inability to anchor one's affection to one person because it's been scattered across too many memories. She doesn't mean to do it. In fact, she might crave deep love more than anyone else, but she's trained herself to disconnect feelings from closeness. It's a psychological defense mechanism to enjoy connection without surrendering her heart. That's why so many men walk away saying, "I don't know what went wrong. We had chemistry." Chemistry was never the problem. Her nervous system just doesn't believe in permanence anymore. And this is where you, as a man, need awareness, not judgment. When you sense this pattern, don't try to fix her or win her trust with more affection. That only makes her retreat further. Instead, observe. Pay attention to whether she seeks validation more than connection, attention more than presence. Because if she does, it's not about you. It's about the emptiness she's trying to silence. Intimacy for her isn't about feeling close. It's about feeling alive. And that's the first clear sign, when her body is present, but her soul feels somewhere else. The second sign reveals itself in how she handles male attention. A woman who's been desired by many men often carries an invisible addiction, not to love, but to validation. You'll see it in subtle ways. She's constantly aware of how she looks, how she's being perceived, and whether she's still got it. It's not vanity, it's survival. Her sense of worth has been shaped through the eyes of others. And now she struggles to feel valuable without that reflection. Watch how she responds to compliments. She doesn't blush. She absorbs them like oxygen. A small smile, a quick thank you, but her energy lights up as if for a brief second she feels safe again. Then that feeling fades and she's searching for the next hit. This pattern is what I call external anchoring. Instead of building self-worth from within, she gathers fragments of approval from every man who notices her. Social media becomes her mirror. The more attention she gets, the more alive she feels. Yet deep down, she's empty. Not because she's shallow, but because she's disconnected from her own sense of inner validation. Years of being pursued taught her that admiration is the closest thing to love. And now she can't tell the difference. You'll notice she keeps old connections alive. Maybe she still texts exes, keeps male friends who once flirted, or never fully closes doors from her past. It's not because she wants all of them. It's because losing their attention feels like losing parts of herself. It's fragmented attachment. The more men she's connected with, the harder it becomes to fully detach from those energetic ties. She might post something online that looks harmless, a selfie, a quote, a song lyric, but it's bait for emotional validation. She needs to know that someone somewhere is still watching, still wanting, still missing her. And if she doesn't get that, she starts to feel invisible. Now, here's the truth most men ignore. When a woman needs attention to feel stable, love becomes a transaction. You're not her partner, you're her supplier. The moment you stop feeding her emotional hunger, she'll unconsciously start seeking it elsewhere, not necessarily in someone new, sometimes just in the idea of being desired again. And that's the second sign. Her confidence feels loud, but her peace feels missing. The third sign hides in her relationship with boredom. A woman who's been with many men often confuses stability with stagnation. Her nervous system has been conditioned to chaos. The highs, the lows, the chase, the drama. It's what psychologists call dopamine conditioning. Every intense experience rewired her emotional reward system to crave excitement over safety. So when you give her peace, she doesn't know what to do with it. She'll say she wants a good man, but when she finally meets one, she feels nothing. Not because you're boring, but because she's emotionally desensitized to normally. Her mind associates calm with emptiness. Because her heart has lived in turbulence for too long. You'll notice she starts small arguments for no reason. Disappears for a day just to see if you'll chase. Becomes distant after moments of real connection. It's not random. It's self-sabotage. To her, consistency feels unnatural. She's addicted to the emotional roller coaster that comes with uncertainty. That chaos reminds her of how passion once felt. She might even romanticize her toxic exes, not because she wants them back, but because drama made her feel alive. Peace feels too quiet for someone who's spent years mistaking adrenaline for love. And when a woman's emotional baseline has been built on instability, a stable relationship feels like emotional withdrawal. You'll also see it in her storytelling. She talks about her past like it was a movie, full of passion, betrayal, intensity. There's always a plot twist, always a villain, always a moment of tears and redemption. She's lived through so many emotional peaks that regular love now feels flat. This is why she might test you. Not because she doubts your loyalty, but because she's trying to recreate the spark she once felt through drama. The problem is, real love isn't supposed to hurt. It's supposed to heal. But when pain becomes familiar, healing feels foreign. As a man, you'll feel drained, constantly trying to prove your worth, constantly trying to keep her interested. You'll think, what am I doing wrong? But the truth is, it's not about you. She's chasing a chemical pattern, not a person. And that's the third sign. When a woman confuses peace with boredom, she's not emotionally ready for depth. She's chasing stimulation, not stability. The fourth sign reveals itself in how she talks about men in general. Pay attention not to what she says about you, but what she says about them. A woman who's been through many experiences often carries a deep, unspoken fatigue toward masculinity. She's seen too many versions of men, the charming ones, the liars, the users, the emotionally unavailable ones, and now her view of men is tinted with quiet skepticism. She might joke that all men are the same. She might praise independence as if connection is weakness. Or she'll say things like, I don't need a man, but I like having one. That statement right there is loaded. It's not confidence. It's protective detachment. It's her way of saying, I'll engage, but only on my terms. You'll feel it when you try to get close. She'll allow intimacy, but never surrender control. She leads conversations, directs emotions, keeps everything under the illusion of balance. But deep down, she's running the show. Because every time she's surrendered in the past, she's been let down. Her independence isn't always empowerment. Sometimes it's armor. This kind of woman has lived enough romantic cycles to know how quickly affection can turn into disappointment. So now she preemptively guards herself by viewing men through the lens of probability, not possibility. In her mind, connection is a risk, one she's only willing to take if she feels completely safe. And the tragedy is she rarely does. You'll hear it in subtle tones. When you open up emotionally, she listens, but there's a flicker of disbelief in her eyes, as if she's waiting for the mask to fall. When you promise loyalty, she smiles, but something inside her whispers, "We'll see." This isn't arrogance, it's emotional exhaustion. Her heart has built walls in self-defense, and now she's trapped behind them, longing for real love, but too afraid to truly trust it. Here's the psychological truth. When someone has been repeatedly intimate without deep emotional connection, their ability to believe in connection weakens. It's like a song that's been replayed so many times, it's lost its melody. That's why you'll often feel that no matter how much effort you put in, she stays slightly detached, never fully soft, never fully surrendered. That's the fourth sign. When her words sound open, but her heart speaks in guarded tones. The fifth sign hides in how she handles commitment. A woman who's been with many men often struggles with emotional permanence, not because she's disloyal, but because her psyche has been trained to adapt and detach. She's lived through multiple romantic cycles, and every ending rewired her sense of attachment just a little more. Psychologists call this bond fatigue, the gradual weakening of emotional intensity with each new partner. At first, she'll seem incredibly devoted. Her energy will pull you in. She'll talk about connection, depth, and honesty. She'll tell you she's done with games and ready for something real. But as soon as the relationship feels too real, too settled, her instincts shift. You'll feel her pull away subtly at first. Fewer messages, colder tone, less curiosity. It's not rejection. It's her subconscious protecting her from reliving disappointment. See, in her emotional world, every connection has an expiration date. Her nervous system doesn't believe in forever anymore. So she stays in control by always being ready to walk away. She might even call herself emotionally independent. But what that really means is she never fully depends on anyone again. You'll notice it in her language. She says, "I" more than "we." When you talk about the future, she gets vague. When you express affection, she receives it, but she doesn't reciprocate with the same depth. She's learned that the more she invests, the more it hurts when it ends. So she gives just enough to keep you close, but not enough to lose herself. And when conflict comes, she doesn't fight to fix it. She prepares to leave. She'll say things like, "Maybe we're just not compatible," or "I don't want to force anything." Those phrases sound mature, but they're actually escape mechanisms. It's how emotionally fatigued people create exits before pain begins. But here's the heartbreaking truth. Under all that detachment, there's usually a soft heart that still wants to believe in love. She's just forgotten how. And every new relationship becomes another test she expects to fail. So if you ever wonder why she can be so passionate one week and indifferent the next, it's not mood swings, it's emotional conditioning. That's the fifth sign. She's mastered the art of leaving before being left. It's not cruelty, it's survival. Now, here's the final and most revealing sign. Her energy doesn't feel rooted. When a woman has been with many men, especially on a deep emotional or intimate level, her energy becomes scattered. It's not something you can see, it's something you feel. One moment she's completely present, warm, magnetic, and the next, it's like she disappears behind invisible walls. You can't quite reach her soul. No matter how close you get, that's not mystery. That's fragmentation. Psychologically, every emotional bond leaves a trace. Every connection forms what's called an emotional imprint, a neurological and hormonal signature that links memory with attachment. When those bonds are repeatedly formed and broken, the emotional system becomes desensitized. She starts to lose the sense of who she is without those external reflections. So, she becomes a mosaic. Pieces of different experiences stitched together to form a version of herself that feels confident, alluring, and free. But deep down, she's tired. You'll sense it when she's quiet. That stillness where her mind drifts somewhere you can't follow. It's not always guilt or regret. Sometimes it's just emptiness. The exhaustion of constantly being the version someone wanted her to be. She's not a bad woman. She's a woman who's seen too much of love in too many forms. And now love doesn't surprise her anymore. It just confuses her. Her heart yearns for something genuine, but her instincts don't believe it exists. So she stays caught in a loop, craving connection, fearing it, chasing chemistry, escaping peace. And this is where most men go wrong. They try to judge her or fix her. But that's not your role. Your role is to understand, to see the patterns, to recognize the energy, and to decide whether your piece can survive her storm. Because love isn't about saving someone who's lost themselves. It's about protecting your own emotional stability. Here's the truth. Few dare to say, the number doesn't define her. Her patterns do. Her ability to connect, to stay present, to feel, to trust. That's where the truth lives. So before you let attraction blind you, look deeper. Feel the energy beneath her words. Listen to what her silences say. Because sometimes the most beautiful woman in the room isn't looking for love. She's looking for relief. And the man who sees that truth finally stops trying to be her cure. He learns to be her mirror and walks away wiser, not wounded.